Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We've got our theme music going. Um, the adult background, dark background, all that kind of stuff, which means nothing other than we are getting ready to talk Men Speak on Mondays. I am your host, and I am Keisha Sharp. I am Coach K. And as promised, I told you that I would be speaking to men each Monday night until December. So we have just a couple of Mondays left in December. And don't tell the rest of the guys, but I think we kind of saved some of our best ones for last. Okay. Don't tell the other guys that. I just need you to continue to support us, to watch, to like, and to share. So again, I am Keisha and I'm Coach K. So who am I? I'll tell you who I am. I am a seasoned communicator. Oh yeah, I have like 30 years like under my belt, right, as a communicator. So in my former dispensation, a news anchor. In today's dispensation, I am a life coach and also a columnist with the Birmingham Times and also a podcaster who loves to have conversations with you and for you, asking the questions, tackling the topics that maybe you don't want to. So without further ado tonight, everybody. So anyway, that's my information. If you want to get in touch, that's keisasharp.com/life-coaching. If you need life coaching. And listen, you may just want to check the site out because we have other resources there as well. We have journals. For those of you who want to be an entrepreneur full time but just don't quite know what to do, we got you covered. Also have a mini course there, right? Teaching you step by step, line upon line, what you need to do. Okay. Check it out. keisasharp.com life/coaching for coaching and other resources to help you improve in your life, in your career, and your relationships. And speaking of relationships, I've got a friend. See,
And
it's almost like the folks say in the church, I've got a friend. And I'm calling on that friend right now. You all know him as Nephew. Like he is the producer extraordinaire, like one half of the Joe Lockett show is he. And you might as well say he's a third of the Keisha and Joe show that airs each and every Wednesday. And the Joe Lockett show airs weeknights. Okay. You can catch it on Joe Lockett's channel and probably on Nephew's channel too. Nephew, how you doing this evening?
here.
Good. I was saying I kind of like our vibe. Like we've kind of got this little adult, like dark theme, like, drawing the good people in.
This the Twitch background.
Twitch.
Shout out to the Twitch watchers out there. Yeah, this is the background I'm gonna use for Twitch when I get the video stuff edited on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I am Nephew. He is I am him. This on the low.
Yes.
Them all my catchphrases.
Yes. And what you all have to understand is that Nephew often comes to my defense a lot of times on the show because Lord knows I need it sometimes with Joe, right? So Nephew and I kind of have this little Wonder Twin power activate sort of thing going, right?
Yeah, because bump him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he ain't really no explaining to be involved. You see the show, you know why.
Okay,
wrong.
right.
Yeah, he's wrong all the time.
No, he's just wrong. We'll deal with it later. But right now, this is our platform, and we can nobody can stop us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and cook. Go ahead and cook.
Speaking of cooking, let me let you go ahead and cook. And Nephew is young, but Lord, I say you're young. I mean, you may say you're not. But I love your measured perspectives about, we get into all things life and relationships, right? So one of the things that I always like, I like your measured sort of approach to relationships as it relates to dealing with women. What do I call you tonight? Do I call you nephew? Do I call you C? Do I call you Cliff Watkins? Which one?
You can go by Cliff, even though that's probably my dad's nickname at this point. Because yeah, I mean it's you, Miss Kisa, so it's fine. Family say C. Um,
Yes.
you guys, y'all call me nephew, so hey, either one of the three, it's fine.
So either one, we good.
Yeah, either one we good. You ain't saying the wrong name.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. That see, and he didn't he just a gentleman? He is such the gentleman. Speaking of nephew, we do a lot of talking, and Joe and I can be a little jaded as 50-something-year-olds as it relates to relationships or whatever. Um, some of my peeps nephew say we're just not connecting. Where are all the good guys? What's going on? Things have changed from a 20-something-year perspective, and he's late 20s, y'all. But I promise you, I think he's in the body of like a 60-year-old, but he's in his 20s, late 20s. Do you sense that there is an issue with connection, nephew, or do you think we're making much ado about nothing?
Depending on what part. Um,
Mm, mm,
I think a lot of dating is much to do about nothing, but
mhm.
it can be on the other hand, depending on what's important to you when you're dating. Um, from talking with a lot of older folks, it seems that the older you get, the more companionship seems to be more important than the other part. And the younger you is, the fairy tale still there. But if you're not interested in any of it, like I said, it can all be nothing. So I would say it depends on what part, what part was specific to you and your niche. I don't I don't think everything that people say on dating shows is one shoe fits all. Um, I honestly, if we being 100, I don't care about that like that. I really
Yeah,
don't. I
yeah,
do this because Joe is there. That's I mean, I do that because you and Joe got
yeah.
love for you. But my when I get into dating seriously, it's
Mhm.
never this complicated.
Say that again. When you get into it seriously, it's never say that again.
Never this complicated.
Interesting. Interesting. What do you mean? Why are you calling it complicated? What would you term as complicated? The fact that we're talking about it or we're making it complicated?
People. It's not so much that you guys are talking about it or that you're interested in talking about it. People make it complicated. And
Mhm.
that brings off conversation because now you got to analyze people, or you know what I mean, low key psychoanalyze people because of how they're
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
and you always got to have that perspective anyway if you're dating somebody. But the difference is you're listening to folks that you're not trying to date versus somebody you got intentions with. So, like I said, everybody gonna make it complicated, but it's the
Mhm.
people that make it complicated, not dating.
So this is interesting that you say this because I have long said that having been married before, I have long said I don't think marriage is difficult. I think people can make it difficult, but I think it's really very simple if you're working toward the same goal. People make it complicated. People make it complicated. We complicate things. So I'm all flowing with you in that train of thought. So what would you tell ladies, because ladies will say, some ladies will argue, and I hear you in saying that, man, sometimes we're making this a little bit too deep. It's not really that deep. What would you tell ladies? Because I hear a lot of ladies saying this. What would you say to them? Would you say something like, "No, I'm not gonna even put anything in your mouth." What would you say to the ones who do say it's complicated? What would you say?
Uh, hate to repeat the other part, but it really be well. I'll ask her then if
Mm,
dating is so complicated. What's your three hurdles? What's your big complications? What's your big problems? Because from what I hear with people, if you finna invest anything into anybody, it's never gonna go how you invested it to go. It's gonna be another problem involved. It's gonna be something you didn't account for. It's gonna be something new. It's gonna be some nuance in it. But what about it are you the most uncomfortable with? Because you're only gonna get uncomfortable with something if you face it more times than not. And usually that's on you than it is people that you date. So I had to act like, well, why you keep messing up? Like, what's wrong with you? Where are you bringing the problem in? Like,
Yeah,
but a lot of folks ain't gonna have that type of accountability for real, for real. They ain't gonna want
yeah.
to take that jump for real, for real.
So, the funny thing is I'm sitting here thinking about what you're saying is you're saying basically to ask to tell people to do the self work, like what's going on with you, like ask those hard questions. So, what are you as a creative? You are a creative and in all aspects of the word, and I can say that because me, having an employee mindset for so many years, over in a different space of being a creative now, it's different, but it's truly who and what I am as a creative. What is intriguing as a you're not a millennial, you are a
Gen
zer
Z, yeah,
gen zer
Gen Z.
Gen Z dating millennial. What does that look like right about now? Look at my eyes, nephew. What is
uh,
that? What are y'all doing out there?
what are we not doing out here? I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Y'all are on Twitch, and
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
sorry, nephew. I'm sorry. Online dating. I am just so not comfortable with that. But your generation is all about that. Or are
Uh,
they? Or are they? Or are they?
we use it. We use it better than y'all. I say that.
Come
We,
school us, youngster.
um, most most folks that's around my age, if I hear anything from dating online with them, is usually never going to be serious enough to bring an expectation towards, or
Mm,
utilizing the sites intended on how the market dictates them now. So you like, and I use this. If you dating on like Bumble or Hinge, nine
mhm.
times out of 10, you're getting a 50-50. Maybe you're gonna find somebody that's as serious as you, but don't never count out the opportunity that they just want to jump off. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Come on, school us.
Tinder is usually the jump off site. Other
Yeah.
backwood channels that you don't know anything about, that's not big enough to learn nothing about, they're
Mhm.
backwood channels for jump offs.
Okay.
Black.com is jump offs. Christian Mingle is Christian versions of jump offs. Like
My
you
goodness.
gotta you gotta really weed in between. Christian Mingle ain't nothing but a jump off site.
Mm.
It's
Don't
not
be
something.
don't be fooled by the words, in other words.
Do not be pulled by the words. They got something called farmers only. That's just for farmers, and it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
I've seen it.
So I'm just saying, like you got to know how the sites today, not when they made them,
Yeah.
but how the sites function today to know what you're getting into, because that's a different market. You know what I mean? Just like if you was to be dating in a small town versus dating in a big city, you're
Mhm.
dealing with a different market that would dictate different actions. You can't go
Mm,
in there using small town mindset or small town dating rules and thinking it's gonna fly over in the big city because you're gonna be
I
small
gotcha.
potatoes and you're not gonna bring no attention. So
I
you gotta use
gotcha.
it for what you are.
Okay, so to help us as these um in my age group, help us to understand then what like first steps, first things first, because you know all the sites. Like I'm vaguely familiar, but I intentionally stay away. I'm like, I don't know if I need that drama. So what's step one in dating online? Would you recommend it? Or are you saying shut up? Would you recommend it? Shut up, Kisa. Would you recommend it?
um,
I'm letting you educate us.
I recommend it. Um, it's to each their own. Yeah, I say if
Mhm,
you're the type of person that's gonna be a little sensitive,
mhm,
or if you're the type of person that when you like somebody and they give you energy, you then expect a lot more from it.
mhm.
Don't do it. Um,
Okay. Okay. Tip. Tip.
and that's just me. I
Mhm.
can easily be wrong, but
Okay.
for me, if I dated or when I did, I probably still got them out there. If you did see me on the dating sites, that's me.
Okay.
But
Shout out to Nephew.
but nothing I was doing on those dating sites were with any type of expectation or with any
Yeah.
type of real seriousness. Most folks is not getting on. You might have a few that's desperate enough that
Yeah.
can't get anybody in their own circles, which I
Mhm.
promise you is like a small amount.
Okay.
It, it is understandable as it is. That's a small amount. Everybody on there is not like that.
Mm.
So I will say if you expect things easily, or
Mhm.
if you love really really hard, or you just like somebody strong enough to do anything for, just off of the hint of them giving you a back and forth, don't do that. You're gonna get played. You easy
Wow. Easy,
easy
easy, easy prey,
easy.
basically. Easy prey. That's it almost sounds as I'm listening to you, I've never ventured into those waters because I just again, I don't my comfort level is just not there. And I'm more old school, wanting to talk and, see because even if it starts virtually. Now, certainly I have it may be akin to us talking to people over the phone. Certainly I have met people over the phone and talked to them that way before, seeing them, right? So it could be slightly akin to that, but you certainly have to pull me out of the virtual world, so I may not be a good candidate for that. Um, Speaking of candidates, one dating expert nephew said that everybody's gonna be on these sites early January. So
Yes.
is that a good time? Oh, it is you're saying yes. So that's a good time for people if they wanna jump in dip their toe into the water?
Right now it's a good time.
Right now?
Holidays, yeah, holidays,
Okay.
New Year's. I'm forgetting one other one, but holidays
Not
and New Year's so
Easter,
far.
not cr holidays, like, late in the year, 1st of the year,
Uh, like holidays like February, early February,
Valentine's Day, yeah.
early February, New Year's
Uh-huh,
Day, around Christmas time,
uh-huh,
uh, maybe around like early fall, and
okay,
then you got the beginning of summer.
okay,
Spring, not
uh,
summer.
not
Summer
summer,
by that time everybody is kind of loose. Um,
yeah.
Spring definitely.
So that window, a window. So let's repeat because if you all are listening at home, we're always trying to give you information, news you can use, ladies and gents. So this is a good time now, is what nephew's saying right now. If you hadn't kicked off in the fall already, so right now, heading into the new year, heading into Valentine's Day, heading into spring. Summer, he's saying, may taper off a little bit, but it picks back up during the fall. Did I get that right, nephew? Or if not, please amend.
No, no, no. You got it right. While they joke with it on social media, of course they got like cuffing season. That's early fall. Um,
Cuffing season, early fall. Yes.
I forget the other name for it, but I call it late ticket season. That's the springtime. And then you got I would like to call it lonely season. That is Christmas to New Year's or
Yeah.
Christmas to February. That's lonely
Yeah.
season for me. And
Mm.
around that span of time, again, know your market, know what you're getting into. These are high traffic markets because that's when most folks feel the loneliest.
So true. And
These are Yeah, those are the times when folks is really they really say they need somebody because they see how it is out with somebody. And those are the times where you will see it the most. Summer tends to be the time where everybody is more loose and everybody don't care to be with anyone. If they are, they are. But you seeing more single shots in the profile pictures, or you seeing more dudes hold the camera while she walking away, or the video shots, or the you know what I mean, the feet pics. You're seeing a lot of those than you are with we together, we out in public, we happy, yada yada yada. You feel me?
Yeah.
So those are the times that you're gonna get the most needy. So I will also say know your channels. Also know the time of year because you gotta also know what you're gonna get. These ain't gonna be no and when we talked about this on the Joe Lockett show, that's what I tried to tell folks, but it go over folks' head. But
Didn't go over well.
no, it went well. I just don't think we brought enough attention to it. Like we
Okay.
talk about it all the time as far as with dating and then transition to the married point. But I don't think we focus enough on the dating point because a lot of folks fail. You can't get to the marriage point if you
Mhm.
can't even secure the first stage. You know what I mean? Or if you
Yeah.
can't even get the understanding on the first stage. And
Yeah.
a lot of older folks, if I'm just being blunt,
Yeah.
act like y'all pressed for time.
Yeah.
So in acting like you're pressed for time, you start to then show that you're pressed for time, and now you're more noticeable to be taken advantage of. Like
Mm.
if I'm correlating it to around my age bracket, you got the simps. You know you can't have any type of game with a girl one on one, so you got to use other angles that you know you can exploit. With older folks, you know you outthink us, but you don't know the current market today. So you might be thinking you outthinking us, but really you just got outwitted because you don't really know what you're playing with. But
Yeah.
it's easy to talk down to the younger folks because you don't know no better. Oh, I did
Mm.
the same thing you did, but you didn't do the same thing with the market that you in now. And it's clear that you're desperate. So I can exploit you more than you think you can outsmart me.
I don't
So
know if they're listening, but you're helping those who have an ear to hear. You know what I mean? Like this desperation thing is pretty doggone big. So I'm going in two different directions with my mind, and I need your help with it. Number one, I want to touch on the sites that you would recommend for the folks who are either that you or who are looking for something serious. Um, and number two, we have to round out at some point that looking desperate. Like, what are the signs of a desperate looking woman so women won't be looking desperate? You can
okay,
tackle either one
I
at
can answer
first.
I can answer the site one pretty quick
Okay.
because I'm not recommending so much a site than it
Mhm,
is when you get on,
mhm.
see what you interact with. And I give you like maybe three things to look for. Because in like I said, either one of them you can encounter the same thing I'm talking about. And that's somebody getting you while you're either the most open or
Yeah.
you encountering somebody that is not the same way that you are. So
Mhm.
first thing I'll say is look at the profile pictures. If the profile pictures themselves, of course, they say pictures is 1,000 words, but it is more true in dating than you really give it credit for. If it don't align with what you see, swipe left. After you
Mm.
see that and you like what you see, then you message them. If you're getting robotic answers back, if you're getting go and check out my Snapchat or follow my Instagram or yada yada yada, that's not the person for you. That's somebody that might exploit you. If they're coming on too strong or with a clear intention, like, hey, I'm yada 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 yada, I would say be weary of that because everybody on these apps don't really have an intention for it for real, as much as you want to give it credit for. Again, do it to your own discretion because and we're gonna get to that with the desperate point. You might end up getting in contact with somebody that might be as desperate as you or desperate enough. But even then, I would say be weary of because
Absolutely.
all of these ain't always real people. You know what I mean? All of
Yeah.
these aren't people that's going on here for the intent of dating. These are folks that know it's people of prey here. I can get some money from you, or
Mm.
both. You know what I mean? Like it's been a whole bunch of interactions with dating to where you get on these sites and now you got to deal with somebody setting you up. Or if you around my age, that's why I don't do it as much. If you're around my age, you'll probably deal with somebody that's trying to set you up, rob you, yada yada yada, from other different, you know what I mean, sites. So
Oh,
I
wow.
would say
You mean
look out for
Rob
those.
you mean Rob online or meeting up somewhere? Help me.
Online, if you gullible enough and they know how to get you off a line, then maybe online. But some folks aren't so trustworthy. So when you go and try to meet them or
Yeah,
around
yeah,
my age, you're naive enough to get the jump off and bring her to your house. Now she
yeah.
sent locations and yada yada yada. Now you either on the news or you ain't got no stuff in your house no more. So
Yeah.
like I said, you got to be careful while you're going here too, and look out for if they're giving you real information or they're trying to act something, or if they're coming on too strong. If the pictures don't match with what the words is, because a lot of times these folks do not, and you'll notice it. Oh, I'm looking for yada 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 in the mirror, yada 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 in detention, and yada, and you look like a hood rat on the side. Like
Yeah.
folks don't match their words on this app either. It's very obvious. I can't really,
Wow.
you know what I mean, give it to you any more
Wow.
simpler than that. You will really
Wow.
notice it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do your due diligence if you get in any type of interaction on any of these sites, and make sure that you keep yourself safe in any instance. Do not meet with nobody at your crib. Do not meet
Wow.
nobody in no shady area. Stay to populated areas. Stay to inside the restaurant, not outside. For women, do not meet this dude outside the restaurant. Meet him
Wow.
inside. I don't care how fancy or how it's gonna look for y'all to walk in. Meet him inside
Wow.
around people. Dudes, do not bring no girl to your house. I don't care what age you at, because a lot of y'all can be susceptible, period. I don't care how
Wow.
old you think you are. I don't care what age you at. Do not bring them to your house from no dating site.
Mm.
Will rob.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot emphasize that enough. And usually you fight
Yeah.
back. It's enough of them young ends there to take you out. Don't do it.
Nephew, before we get to the desperate part, because I what made you, because you're going into something that I was going to ask you about anyway, and the safety element or the lack thereof, or what's making you what you're saying feels so real to me, because I was going to ask you about that, hearing those stories. Like we I hear the great parts sometimes that say, I met my person online. But my goodness, you're giving us a safety warning. I have on here online dating tips, ladies and gentlemen, because there could be a dangerous element. Are you reading this? Are you? I mean, you're making this kind of real life for us. Are you reading this? It's out there, huh?
It's not no dating element. That's part of it. This way, that's what it is. Um, and it don't matter if you're a dude or a girl. You easy prey, and that's what it's kind of going into at the desperate point.
Okay.
Um, Desperate people get on these apps. I can't emphasize that enough. As
Can
much as
you
they
repeat
want,
that again? Can you repeat that again?
desperate people are on these apps.
Wow.
I cannot
Wow.
emphasize enough. As much as it's, oh yeah, you can find love. Yeah, you can find love.
Wow.
I mean, a
Wow.
lot of desperate folks have found it,
Yeah.
but you got to know, in being desperate, you are an easy target. Period. I don't care what age you are. It happened to everybody,
Mm.
especially for my younger age, because that's what who exploited the most on these apps. But
Mhm.
there's been cases of older dudes too. There's been cases of women, period. You know what I mean? And you get desperate enough thinking that you got some type of energy with somebody that you ain't never seen. You talk to them long enough, you think you know them. You feel me? So
I'm so feeling you right now. I'm speechless. I'm just letting you cook. Please cook.
yeah, you
Please.
like I said, you talk to them long enough, you think you know them until you meet them, and now nothing is linking the way it's supposed to, or
My
you get
goodness.
that off vibe.
Yeah. That
Listen
off
to
vibe.
what
Listen to your gut. This conversation has let me I'm going to have to shift when the conversations get this good. I have to shift in my seat. So let me shift this way. Woo! Nephew,
you know.
I don't I don't believe what you're saying and doing is by accident. This is something now I'll be frank, there's some people who are maybe a little more adventurous than me. I don't really care to get on these online dating apps. I mean, that's the real for me, but I'm not going to discourage anybody from doing that because again, there are some people who say I found the love of my life on there. But
Uh,
go
and,
ahead, go
and
ahead.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. And with
You're
that said,
good.
I'm not saying this to scare you from doing it either. Like I said, while I'm saying all of this, I'm still in it in a sense. You feel me?
Oh
But
yeah.
know what you're getting into. Don't get into this half-hearted or full-hearted. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Don't do that
Yes.
and be exploitable.
Yes.
That's it. Everybody's
Yes.
desperate on this app. I don't care if they're not desperate. They're desperate on this app because they chose online dating outside of meeting people.
Yes.
Period. Just as much as I'm saying that everybody's desperate, I'm included in everybody. You get on
Wow.
these apps, you are desperate to a sense. I don't care if it's on because it's I look at it everything is nuanced. I don't care what scale it is. If it's on a 1 to a 10, you still have
Mhm.
desperate in you that can be exploited in the right scenarios.
That's
And that's
good.
all that they're trying to do. And when I say there, I'm talking about the people getting in it, not the app itself, not the creators. So
Yes.
don't cloud your head up with, oh, the app was meant to. No, the app was
Yeah.
meant to help you see and meet other people.
Yeah.
Not saying they're gonna be good.
Mhm.
Not saying they're gonna be the right people. You're
Mhm.
meeting more people because you can't do it in person. So there's a
Wow.
desperate element in there, period. Whether it's gonna be the girl that's trying to get you their Snapchat to link to their OnlyFans so you can subscribe, whether it's gonna be the dudes that's just not to scare you out, but I'm being really blunt. The
Yeah.
dude is desperate enough to try to do some things to women, whether it's the guy that got all the money in the world that can exploit the money so he can do anything that he want with the women, or if it's the female that's gonna get the dude in a vulnerable environment, more than likely his home, to call up and set him up. These are the real elements to online dating if you're getting into it too blind or with too big rose colored glasses on and you're not doing your due diligence on how you're navigating these markets and what times. It I know I didn't want to complicate it for you, but I can't emphasize those enough because there is always going to be somebody trying to get over. And they do it in the dating market because they know you desperate enough for me to do it. I got you in a predicament. If it's the girl calling the dude up, I got you in a predicament. You can't say no. They know where you at and they outside. They taking your stuff from your feet. The dude, you came to me. I didn't even if it's just a dude, you came to
Yeah.
me. I didn't even have to go out of my way to find you. You came to me. And more than likely you did it alone. And most
Oh,
dudes are stronger than you, even if you work out. So
oh,
these are real elements I can't emphasize enough because they're emphasized on my age bracket. It has to be emphasized all around the board.
that's right. That's right. I didn't plan to go here, but that's why I love these conversations. In all of the Men Speak series, I've never had a conversation around online dating like this. And I'm so glad that we just didn't get into and we're taking the time to stay in that area of thinking safety first and let's talk real element and let's talk what could happen because we'll go into these things like you said with that one word, desperation. And because we're desperate, okay, this has to be my answer because I'm sitting here home alone. Sitting home alone is not the worst thing that could happen.
And
There could be worse things. Yeah.
I tell you another part. It's not so
Yeah.
much you sitting there home alone. It's
Yeah.
more the fact that you see other people you know is with people. It's
That's
more
right.
that you
That's right.
that you're used to being in a relationship and you ain't never really digested you. So now
Yeah.
the quiet speak a little bit louder than your thoughts do, or your thoughts speak a
Mm,
lot louder than your quiet. And now
mm.
you can't deal with the fact that no one's there to hear you. So now you need somebody there. You know what I mean? Not like I said, I don't care what level of desperation you on. It might have been that you just used to talking with women. It might just be that you have the best chemistry when a woman is present. You're desperate to a point if you're still going to dating on an app
Wow.
or online. You're still desperate to a point. You want love really, really bad. You're desperate to a point.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's easy to stay on the bright side, but if I don't emphasize the other, like I do on the show, I don't like to stay on one side too heavy, even if I don't even agree with it. I want it to be acknowledged because if you do that so much, you miss stuff that's more important to you. You miss things because you want to stay in the happy side or what caters to you. When I'm dating somebody, I already get it out my head of thinking what caters to me. I'm going to be last in the scenario anyway. As long as I'm not acknowledged, I'm fine with not being first. You feel me?
Mhm.
A lot of dudes, especially the alpha dudes or whatever people want to call it, they don't do that. That's what makes me different in a sense. That's what speaks to Cliff personally, because I'm not going to be the type of guy that's going to mandate certain type of things. Not to say I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
I don't hold myself to a standard or that I don't have the image of the woman that I'm tolerating, but
Mhm.
because I have a low tolerance for BS for the woman I'm willing to do that for, not looking at it like it's BS.
Yeah.
What comes earning your stripes, and that's what comes with investment. That's why right now I'm not in no moment to invest in anybody because I'm not willing to do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you are investing in something, you're going to take a net loss. I had to do stocks in my many jobs.
Yeah.
Anytime you're going to do stocks, I look at it like it's halfway gambling. So
Yeah.
all you're doing is taking a loss until you want something. And that's what I look at in dating and investing. But if you are so big on winning in the online dating market, you are going to lose because they invest in the different areas you're not.
Why does it feel like I have never had this conversation, which is why it is so phenomenal to have these conversations, because why do I feel the weight of what you're talking about right there? I feel the weight of the safety message. I feel I feel the weight in the sense that you could really be saving somebody's life. Cliff? You
Because
could you could
a lot of folks already lost their life,
oof.
especially around my age. Um, Half of that is why we like on the poster or whatever it is you see with folks with the ski mask or the shiesty they want to call it, or they got the black Air Force energy. Half of that is from the joke of the real life thing. And those are from scenarios that a dude was he was horny enough to pick up something easy from Tinder or to pick up something easy from an online dating site, talk to her long enough. Now you think she cool, you bring her back, your stuff gone, and possibly you. And they forever know your address unless you move. So even if you got out of it and you still there, they're gonna make extra
Sure.
visits in a place where you can't say no because that's your home.
Oh,
There's too many accounts. I don't care how you want to see it for the Amber Alerts or the women that was missing. I know she lied about it down here, but
yeah,
I remember the story about that girl that was over here down here in Alabama that lied about being abducted and all the other stuff because
yeah,
she saw a baby on the highway, some BS like that.
yeah, yeah.
Most folks, when that story initially broke, thought it was from online dating. She met up with some dude that took her out because it happens a lot. If you only look at it for rose colored eyeglasses, you miss the realness in it. Yo, when my folks found out I was on it, I told them. But when they found out I was on it, I was like, how do you do that? What? But I'm like, I'm not getting into it thinking that it's something extra. Again, you got to do your research and know what you're getting in. And when you're in it, you feel me? I got in on downtimes. Usually I found the most interaction and the most no's on the downtimes.
Hmm.
If you're doing that and you're getting into it in a high time, I can only imagine how many no's you got to before this one person said yes. And now you're it and broke down your level of desperation when you
Uh-huh.
initially
Uh-huh.
got it at a 1, and now
Uh-huh.
you're all the way up to a 7,
Uh-huh.
seeing so many no's.
Uh-huh.
Now this one female or this one dude is finally giving you back what you didn't swipe right
Uh-huh.
on like 100 or 200 or 300 folks. Now they
Uh-huh.
finally give you some back and forth. Now they
Uh,
talking. Now you
uh-huh.
like, all right, I ain't gonna go too fast, so let me speak to them and yada yada yada. You end up speaking to them for about a few months. You got their number, they got yours. So now you speaking from there. And initially you start to think you know them. But y'all ain't never scheduled no type of personal interaction at all.
That part. That part.
You exploitable.
That part.
Because if you
So
think
I
you
have
ain't got the time, that's a lie.
say it again.
I said if you thinking they ain't got the time, that's a lie.
Okay. Why is that a lie if you're thinking they don't have the time? Explain why.
Because the desperation level on anybody would make time for anything. Um,
Hmm.
it's some folks that do this for a job, and you don't really get it. It's some folks that do this for a literal job, and they're there to give you back and forth with routine, train things. True, if they tech savvy enough, it's automated. Literally, like they got sites where it automates your stuff if you link the right
Gosh.
profile. I'm not. I wish I was playing about it, but it didn't happen to me at least twice.
How would you so this is true confessions. I'm not talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I know
Yeah,
to not.
like it's true confessions. I promise. Instagram, it happens. Why you think
So
folks change their profile picture?
s- why they change their profile picture?
They got hacked. They got hacked. It's no way to even change it for you. They got hacked, or they got you at a vulnerable time. So now they threatening to send things, or now they
Uh-huh.
threatening to
Uh-huh.
get people that's close to you involved
Uh-huh.
for ransom.
Oh,
This is part of the dating market on online dating. I can't emphasize this enough. Like I said, everybody that's just getting into this is desperate. It's just how you're trying to get exploited. Dudes, if you interacting with her and she is a little bit too easy to go and trade pics, trade info, it's not just a young thing because you get freaky on the right night
mhm,
and she know it.
mhm, mhm,
Now, oh, okay, you're exploitable.
mm.
Like it
I don't think
happens.
I know what to say. Yes, it happens. And people, I mean, that's the message tonight. See? That's the message tonight. You know, we are still in that holiday. We're in that holiday high time, holiday high season, where you said some people, and we were just where was I? Where did I just hear that? Oh, I heard a pastor say this, but he said statistics show, you voiced it another way, but he said something to basically corroborate your story, which says that, people are high on those dating apps at this time because it's the loneliest time of the year. You said that. And he said statistics show between as a result of people being lonely and depressed and so sad, they think it's also a time where you see the highest number of suicides because they are so lonely and desperate.
Um, I don't think she minded. Because she didn't tell this story a lot, and it didn't. When I found out about it, at the other end, I was like, oh snap, I could have easily lost her. But my mom, after she was divorced, um, for a period of time, me and her had a very hard streak because it was hard for her to get work. She was in the middle of transitioning from marriage after, you know what I mean, kind of giving up on her job. And
Yeah.
in that, trying to pick up the pieces of what we already built and what we lost. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
in that, she said for at least 6 years, she was battling with deep depression, where she was going to kill herself. Well, unalive herself. And
My
it didn't take me until I was 20, 21 to find that out.
Mhm.
So it's like that's and in the middle of that, she was on online dating, and nothing I don't think happened between that. I, I
Mhm.
I just know she was on there.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
during that patch, it's very easy to succumb to what you keep seeing. I already know it because me and my mom speak a lot. So,
Yeah.
and her seeing my uncle and my auntie, they married for some odd years. My other auntie, she with my other uncle, they married for some odd years. Her only wanting to be married, you feel me, to a sense.
Yeah.
And her feeling like she fulfilled the role, but not the right way,
Mhm.
that brought on extra depression and extra baggage because she felt like she not just left herself down, but left me down and other folks
Yeah.
involved because
Yeah.
she put all of what she had into something she thought was gonna work. So
Mm.
I say that to say it's not so much about you being alone as it is you too much around other folks and you start wanting what they have for you that
Yeah.
will really bag in and hit you in depression. Um, shoot, to get off her, I didn't deal with depression, but I did deal with a very big sense of loneliness when I was getting out of one of my relationships. You feel me? And I only dated two people, so
Yeah.
hope y'all don't watch this. Hope y'all don't watch this. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like during those patching times, like I rationalize it a little different because when I start to see that it's gonna hit the fan anyway, I then start to prep myself for the worst case scenario anyway. But
Okay.
a lot of us call that pessimistic. So it's like, oh,
Mhm.
you already got one foot in, one foot out. No,
Mhm.
I was all in. It's just I saw it was a problem, so I just stepped on out a little bit.
Yeah.
But when those happen, in order for me to get to where I was now, it took the nasty type of accountability that a lot of folks not willing to do. And I don't think I would be willing to do it unless it was my mom and dad kind of building me for it. But
Mhm.
you had to break down past what you didn't like about them. You had to break down past what you thought you did right in order to see some BS that you did not want to give any type of anything to, and then
Mhm.
be like, they might have had a point.
Yeah.
Even
Yep.
if they didn't have a point, they might have had a point. So
Yeah. Mm.
a lot of that was like a little different for me in a sense. Um, but it was around the holidays I had
Mhm.
where it really sunk in. And I mean, it hurt. I ain't gonna lie. It really, really did. Um, like I said, I ain't never contemplate on doing something, but at the same time, it was to a point where things was a little heavy and that I didn't want to be around people and where I kind of stayed in or stayed separate. So it's like during those moments, I would tell folks get over the hurdle first before you start doing online dating. Because I was a lick. My mama would have been a lick.
Mm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So in these scenarios where you have to do that type of accountability for, you are a lick. And if you don't know what a lick is, that's easy pickings.
Yeah.
Okay, it's sitting up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't have no guards up no more. You too busy trying to build them up. So if you know anything about the art of war, or if you play any type of video games or something like that, you know that if your enemy is at his most vulnerable is when he got his back turned to you.
Mm-hmm.
You got your back turned around when you got to do that rebuilding, or you in a moment where it's the most darkest, or it's an unclear path. Because all it
Mm-hmm.
takes for somebody to show you a certain type of way, that don't mean it's the way that you need to go. You feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
I would say, as much as it got high traffic here, if you didn't do the time or the due diligence that you need to for you personally, don't get into it. Don't get into it
Don't get into online dating.
at all.
No.
Because it's even gonna be noticeable in your pictures. The pictures that you choose to pick in or bring in,
Mm-hmm.
you got showing, if you're the female, you're showing a whole bunch of skin. Yeah, dudes are
Mm-hmm.
reading. Oh, she
They
wanted
read
it.
all
Yeah, she wanted it. Hey, you picked a whole bunch of them where you got the pose and you face a certain type of way.
that. Yeah. 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 Little sound, little effects there.
That's my cat.
That's your cat.
Yeah, that's Garfield. Then just threw a
Garfield Garfield trying to make his television debut jumping across. Well, Lexi is in the background too. I don't know if you I was looking earlier. She's somewhere back there. I don't know if you can see her. She's kind of lying down right here, so I get it. But he jumped are you going he jumped across and made a splash, didn't he? Me being a former feline owner, I understand how they are. The most inopportune time, and they just do stuff, and you're just like,
he,
"What's
and
that
I gotta
about?"
fix that now because he even broke the roof.
Ooh, Garfield. Ooh, Garfield. Ooh, Garfield.
That's crazy. And
That's
I
cr-
get out. Oh my
well,
god.
well, he knows he's done wrong. Yeah, and I'm just
Mm.
gonna tell you, he knows. Like, oh, I messed this up, so let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. My friend, I'm gonna let you this has been so woo kind of like this is powerful, not kind of, definitely powerful. And I am going to let you just have the last word because really we're talking men speak on Mondays and really I really believe that you really help some people as it relates to online dating. So if you could and if you would, I'll just give you your closing thoughts because I'll let you have the floor as we close out. You can see him by the way. I'm gonna tell you. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let him tell you after he finishes with his closing thoughts where they can find you.
My closing thoughts on it would be, um, if you're gonna entertain dating, um, know the different elements that you're getting into today. It don't take, like I'm saying, it don't take no super deep day of research where you got to get books and textbooks. Just know what you want to get into and know what it's about. Get other opinions and other ideals on how it works and functions. Take that into account. Like all of what I'm saying wasn't just me binging to find it out. It was, hey, talking to your homeboy about what he interact with or what how he used the app. Talking to your homegirl about how they use the app. Listen to other people that use the app and the successful stories, as long as well as the failed stories. Get all of that so you know what you're getting into. Take it a piece at a time, and don't get into it with the expectation that you really gonna find love. Go into it already loving yourself first. You do that, then you don't have to be on that super high scale of desperation. You can be at the low one where you're not expecting too much. and that you can see the signs before you too deep in the signs. You feel me?
I'm laughing because Garfield is behind you. He just made another appearance. Yes, I'm feeling you. He's not bothering me.
He
He's
looking,
not bothering.
he looking at it like you don't know what you did.
I love it.
Yeah, I should have knew what I was getting into with Garfield. This is the
Oh
example.
my!
I ain't
I
do all
love
my
it.
research.
You didn't do all your research. Oh gosh, didn't do all your research with him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that is so good, and I cannot even get off of that. There are many ways that you can go in interviews, but I think that the message is certainly been well illustrated and point well taken. Man, be safe, be careful, and wow, don't be isolated. What I'm hearing you say is almost like, when you go on that first date as a woman, you want to let somebody know, like, you're going out. Hey, I'm going such and such. If you're going out, not as a I'm grown and nobody tells me what to do. No, but as a, hey, just letting you know, I met this guy, got this new guy friend. Hey, he's taking me out to so and so, or which I have a whole line of thought about that anyway. My suggestion is first date, you meet him somewhere, but it's good for people to know that you are meeting someone, and that what you're doing, because we're in a different day and age right now. But I'm also hearing Cliff say, when you're online, talk to other people about their experiences, their successes, but also their fails, because it goes both ways. Not just the, oh girl, I found love, you need to be online and blah 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 blah. No. What's your experience? What should I look out for? Y'all,
What,
this you
what
don't.
what have you interacted with? You know what I mean? Most dudes know when they getting on these apps. Most
Yeah.
dudes are gonna get a no, unless you meet a certain criteria of things. It's probably like built, uh, face, you know what I mean? It's a certain type of image for everybody. Know the images that folks want to project. But that's going into dating guru type of stuff. It's just stuff to look into. But
This is this was powerful, man. I mean, really. I mean, unplanned, just that organic conversation around online dating, because you're helping somebody. And I'm telling you that you're helping somebody. That it's not by accident. It's not. It's not. Um, so we thank you. If you all know why I'm such a fan of his, I mean, you just heard it. Wisdom well beyond his years, and be safe out there. Nephew, I was about to say, how do they find you and Garfield back there? But Garfield has made his home behind your head. I just see a little splotch back there.
yeah, he laying down. He content because
What? What is
he like attention.
what is he doing?
Yeah, he made loafs now, so
Oh,
he need loaf on the couch. Uh,
that is too funny. That is too
but
funny.
my channels would be you can follow me at Cliffside C on Facebook,
Let's see.
CLIFF SIDE,
Hmm.
and then C as in CEE. You can follow
Hmm.
me there on Facebook. You can follow me on TikTok at Nephew Cliff. Um, so what you see on the screen right there, just put the
Hmm.
nephew over the cliff. You
Hmm.
can follow me at Nephew Cliff on TikTok and Instagram. It should be Cliffside 8 Instagram. So Cliffside and then the number 8 on Instagram. So those are my main channels. If you want to follow the Joe Lockett Show, you can go to the Joe Lockett Show on
Hmm.
LIM Network on YouTube, or
Hmm.
you can go to the Joe Lockett Show on Facebook. Also follow Kisa and Joe Show on Facebook.
Hmm.
That will get you directed to most of our channels,
Hmm.
especially the LIM Network. We'll be doing a stream literally after this. So shout out to that. um, but yeah, those are all the channels I can think of.
Wow. I thank you so much. I'm going to kind of roll through and talk people through the channels and all that great stuff. thank you for hanging out with me and sharing your wisdom, you and Garfield.
No problem. Go ahead. You can bring us back whenever you need. No, don't be running away. You want to be here.
Hi, Garfield.
Hey, you in trouble.
Garfield. That is now he's gonna run, but then eventually he's gonna come right behind you because he likes attention from you. Hilarious. Hilarious. Well, thank you, my friend. We'll be chit-chatting soon.
No problem. Bring me back. I'll make sure Garfield put up this time.
Okay. That's a bet.
No.
Bye, Cliff. Bye. Woo! My. Listen, there are all of his channels, Cliffside C on Facebook, TikTok, Nephew Cliff, Instagram, Cliffside8. Okay. Gave you all of his channels, all of that great stuff. And you also can catch him daily, 4 to 6 p.m. on Lock It In Media. That's LIM, Lock It In Media. And also the Joe Lockett Show. And on Wednesdays, we also do Kisa and Joe at our new time, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So here's the deal, y'all. You're grown. You can do what you want to do. The purpose of the show was not to tell you about what you need to do, et cetera, but it is a scary, I don't want to use the word scary. That's the wrong word, but we have to be careful in 2024, heading into 2025. It was unplanned. There was organic conversation. It was planned that we were going to have the conversation, but we were going to talk about dating. And he went through a lot of detail about online dating. And I believe that that really helped someone. So my prayer is that you take it to heart. And in fact, why don't I go ahead and just even say a prayer for you all if you are involved with online dating? Father God, I lift up my friends before you who want to date, who want to be in a relationship. And God, I just say thank you for helping them, Lord God, to be content in where they are and who they are. Thank you for helping them, Lord God, that even if they decide to do that, if they get a prompting to go into the world of online dating, that they're careful. And I speak Psalm 91 protection over every person who's under the sound of my voice, every person that I'm connected to in the name of Jesus. Lord, thank you that no weapon formed against them shall prosper. Thank you, Lord God, that they are secure and place their confidence in you and not in a dating app. And we also just bind desperation, which at the root of desperation is fear. We bind that because God said he has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind to be able to discern right from wrong, truth from false, the real from that which is not real. And that applies to online dating. I'm Kisa, Coach K. If you need a life coach, reach out. We also have some resources for those of you who are wanting to transition from employee to entrepreneur. Easy steps to do it in my mini course. All of it's there at KisaSharp.com, life coaching under our programs, okay? And if you don't want to dive into the mini course just yet, no problem. We have a journal. I believe that journaling is the place of the miracle. I really do, because you're clearing out all the stuff that's on the inside of you and you can get clear, okay? Because your heart knows everything, all right? Sometimes it's unbeknownst to our mind, but the heart knows, okay? Y'all have a wonderful evening. We went a little bit longer, but I could not move beyond his online dating tips. Love y'all. We'll see you back next Monday with another Men Speak on Mondays. Thank you for your support. I'm Kisa, Coach K, and I'll see you soon. Visit my website, KisaSharp.com, life-coaching for more information on what I do or to work with me. Bye.